Hey team, how's it going today? Today I'm going to do a little bit of a deeper dive on cannabis and sleep, specifically sleep apnea or people that have problems with sleep. And the reason this got brought into my radar is because there was actually a really positive report in Minnesota called the Obstructive Sleep Apnea in Minnesota Medical Cannabis Program. And so what this actually highlighted is I think somewhere around the about two or close to 3,000 patients are a part of this program, and some of them have sleep apnea and they use a CPAP. I'm just going to read some of the benefits that they found using medical cannabis. Increased length of time of sleep, easier time tolerating CPAP, relaxing sleep, relief of sleep apnea side effects, lower anxiety, less stress and fatigue, better home life, sleeping deeper, sleeping longer, more energy in the morning, reduced anxiety and increased compliance with my CPAP mask, and decreased pain. So, from this report, you think that cannabis is actually a really good thing. Well, if we dig a little bit deeper into the research, what the American Academy of Sleep Medicine will say is that medical cannabis and or its synthetic extracts should not be used for the treatment of obstructive sleep apnea due to unreliable delivery methods and insufficient evidence of effectiveness, tolerability, and safety. So the Academy says don't use cannabis. And so I don't know where to believe. So is it Minnesota or is it the academy that we're actually listening to? Now, I looked up a literature review. This article is actually Cannabis, Cannabinoids, and Sleep, a review of the literature. And I'm just going to read the findings here. Preliminary research into cannabis and insomnia suggests that CBD may have a therapeutic potential for the treatment of insomnia. THC may decrease sleep latency, but could impair sleep quality long term. So what we're seeing is it might have a short-term benefit, meaning it's going to help people go to sleep. However, long-term, it could impact the quality of sleep that you get. Then it ultimately goes on to say CBD may hold promise for REM, sleep behavior disorder, and excessive daytime sleepiness. And it may reduce nightmares associated with PTSD and may improve sleep among patients with chronic pain, which kind of highlights one of the things that somebody said in the Minnesota study. And so, what does this mean? And I'm going to quote Brant from The Big Lebowski. Well, dude, we just don't know. And what that means is essentially we don't know. And so, what the research says is that if you're having difficulty going to sleep, if you're struggling with insomnia, then CBD or THC might be a good option for you to help you get better sleep in the near term. Now, long term use could impact the overall quality of that sleep. However, if you're like me and you need anything to help you go to sleep, because stress or whatever's going on, or just you're in that season where you can't sleep very well, it might be a good option. Now, from an OSA or obstructive sleep apnea snoring standpoint, I think the research is not conclusive on what we should be doing. If you're using a CPAP, I think it's always an option to help you, ultimately enjoy your CPAP, utilize your CPAP, tolerate your CPAP. Now, my watchword, though, is you don't have to do that. We can get you an oral device. And so instead of having to rely on CBD, we can definitely help you. Now, if you want to utilize CBD or THC while utilizing CPAP because you find it gets better sleep, then I don't think anybody's going to argue with you in that regard. And if you have any questions, as always, you can always reach out to me, Max Kerr at Sleep Better Austin. And I hope you have sweet dreams and have a great week. Thank you. Bye-bye.